Bibbidi boop 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 boop. Hi Kids Place Kids. This is my first YouTube video and we are going to make bread in a bag. I know we've done it before, but all of you hadn't done it. And at our house, we were running low. We only have 3 pieces left for 3 people. So it's time to make some bread in a bag. So, kids, guess what I did first? I washed my hands for 20 seconds. All those times we told you to wash your hands, now you're trained. What you're gonna need to find at your house are flour. It can be whole wheat or white or any other kind that you have. Sugar, white sugar is what they call for. 1 package of yeast, or if you don't have packages of yeast, 2 1/4 teaspoons. 1 cup of warm water, 3 tablespoons of olive oil or vegetable oil, and 1 1/2 teaspoons of salt. I just want you to remember when you're looking at a recipe, when you see a capital T, that is for tablespoon. When you see a lowercase t, that is for teaspoon. So you want to remember tablespoon is the big one and teaspoon is the little one. So now we're going to get started. I got a clean Ziploc bag, the gallon one, the big one. And just to kind of help myself, I put it in a bowl so that it doesn't tip over. The first part that we're going to do is make the yeast part. You're going to need 1 cup of warm water. So this water is pretty hot. Pour it in the bag. Then you're going to need 1 package of yeast. And this is the quick rise yeast. That's what the recipe calls for. And I just happen to have some. So that's what we're going to put in next. So we added the yeast to the warm water and it's starting to bubble. Then we're going to add 3 tablespoons of sugar. So that'll be the big spoon. There's 1, 2, 3, now we're going to add some salt, 1 teaspoon, that's the small one, and 1/2. Now I'm going to squish it some more before we add our last cup of flour. I hope you guys have been having fun. We're excited to have some bread in our house because we were almost out. Tell me in the comments if you saw anything come up behind my shoulders. Maybe a little black kitten named Muggs. All right, this looks pretty squished. I'm gonna open the bag again and add 1 more cup of flour. Going to mix it 1 more time. We're still going to knead the bread, but this just gets all the ingredients mixed together. I probably should have gotten more air out of the bag, but it's still mixing okay. And when I knead it, all the ingredients will kind of come together, I hope. Baking bread's kind of a little science experiment because you never know how the yeast is going to do and how it's going to raise. But I think we're going to be lucky and it's going to be really good. Okay, let's see if it bubbled. I hope it did a little bit. Oh, I see some bubbles. It looks good. So now we're gonna add the rest of our ingredients to our bag. I measured 1 cup of flour, 3 tablespoons of oil. That's the big spoon. 1, 2, 3. So everything is mixed together. We're going to grease a pan. If you have a bread pan, you can use a bread pan, but we don't have one here at my sister's house, so I'm just going to use a little square cake pan. Just grease it so that our dough doesn't stick to it. So the next thing we're going to do is knead the bread. And so I'm putting a little bit of flour down here. And I'm going to dust my hands. One of the tricky parts I remember about when we've made this before at Kids Place is getting it out of the bag. But it looks like this is going to come out pretty well. Ooh, I had some more mixing to do. It appears. I think I should have mixed my ingredients in the Ziploc bag a little bit longer, but I didn't, so I'm just going to try and incorporate them together now. And not get too much flour so it doesn't dry out. It's kind of nice to use the heel of your hand, this part right here, to press it down. I'm going to move a little bit of the flour. Grab those little pieces. See if I can get it to stick together. I learned how to knead in my old ceramics classes in college and in high school because we kneaded the clay before we worked with it. And then you can decide what shape you're going to make. So you want to knead your bread for 5 to 10 minutes. And then make the shape that you want to make to put into your greased pan. All right, I've kneaded mine for probably about 6 minutes. And now I'm just going to kind of shape it. And put it into our already greased pan. And now we're going to let it raise for about 30 minutes. So in about 25 minutes, you can heat your oven to 375, and then we're going to cook it for 25 to 30 minutes. So we're back in about 45 minutes. This bread didn't rise quickly, so we got the oven just a little bit warm and let it raise for about an hour. And now you can see that it kind of doubled in size. So we're preheating the oven to 375, and then we're going to put it in the oven. If you wanted to make this bread with walnuts or raisins or cinnamon or sesame seeds or other things, you could always make it with different things added to it, pecans, whatever you wanted. We're just doing plain. Now we're going to walk over to the oven. We're going to set the timer for 25 to 30 minutes, and then we should have warm bread. And now we get our bread out of the oven. Ooh, it looks good. Yum. And now we have warm bread. Remember these dinosaurs for our next YouTube video and enjoy your bread.